I went to my first NAMM show in the 70s, and I found the National pick. Well, I had had this idea, this little hole in the blade of a National pick. There's a little circle. I call it getting junk. And I don't want to hear that stuff. When I would hear that little pick noise, I'd always say, can I do that again? There's a little trash in there. And it's just from that hole where I got too far deep into the strings with that pick. I thought, well, if you could have a flat blade to where I can use the side of the pick. I mentioned that, and the guy basically just told me, he said, you're the first guy that's complained. So it was like, okay. I've been fighting that battle throughout my whole career. I presented the idea to D'Addario. I found out they bought National and they folded it into their company. So I thought, here's my chance. They'll listen to me. And they did. And I told them, I said, is there any reason why that hole has to be there? And nobody knows. And everybody says, well, maybe it's to help it bend, shape the blade. They weren't really sure. And so everybody that copied it, copied the flaw. People that don't really try to improve on anything. And well, D'Addario's not that company. They go, okay, well, that's great. Let's see what that would be like. And so they did. And this is a game changer for me. This is a pick that I use probably for 3 or 4 months. Even though it looks like it's the same thickness, this is much harder. The new pick is like a golfer's glove, and this is like putting on a mitten, try to drive the ball through the course. You're just gonna have to always adjust the way your hands feel. The consequence of that is that you'll see steel players that are doing this all the time, or you'll see them pushing their picks down on their shirt or whatever, because they're trying to get the picks to feel like these feel instinctively. The metal is softer, so everything feels like that golfer's glove, like it's connected to the string. I feel the string better through this. It's not like there's a piece of metal between me and the string. I don't think about the picks anymore. I'm blown away, and I'm not just saying that. I called a friend of mine, Tim Sargent with Dierks Bentley, and had him try out, and he's commented the same. And I didn't have enough picks to spread them around town, but as soon as they're here, I want to get everybody on this pick because it's really good. I think you'll really enjoy the difference that this pick brings to your playing. I'm now hitting the string below the circle, and there's a sweetness in there that I want, like it's just musical. It just really is nice. When you watch Brent Mason or somebody like that plays, and there's the aggressive attack, and then you hear the tone, or Brian Sutton, and they get deep into those strings. It's amazing, the difference, and you can hear it between players. I was after that sound. I was trying to get rid of that trash that I get when I'm not as accurate as I want to be. I never thought it would get solved until this new pick. And I think it's going to make me a more soulful player. I just relax and play and respond to the music. That's a good place to be.